Good?
We should be live. Let's see if this comes up.
Talking about.
Make sure that this is actually working. We are live.
Are we?
But wait, let's make sure we get video.
Yeah, let's get video confirmation.
We are getting video confirmation.
No,
we are trying to
all I see is a
launch.
pizza commercial.
Yeah, we are trying to launch a space shuttle right now. Let's see if the guys in the chat, can you let us know if you guys can hear everybody?
Can you see every
pizza?
Can you see everybody? Can you hear everybody?
I'm watching a pizza commercial.
We are waiting.
I could see us. Look.
Mm-hmm.
But can I hear? Look at my battery. Look how many notifications I have.
What the hell's wrong with your phone?
Look at the blue tint on
We
me.
are live. Can you guys hear everybody out in the chat? This is actually working.
I think it is working.
Good.
Holy
job.
crap.
Tomorrow,
Right.
if you're not busy, can I send you like a bunch of stuff? and
Yeah.
we can do this and be
Yeah.
prepared for emergency in the future.
Yes.
Why don't you brief everybody what happened, guys? Brief them.
Well, actually, I might have a shit story because I forgot I needed to take a shit. And
Yeah.
I just ate a half a pound of beef jerky and I'm not feeling too good right now. Oh man. All right. So like we're getting ready. We go into a StreamYard thing or stream whatever fucking thing, and we start talking like an hour before the show. And usually it's me and Adam in there. We're just bullshitting, and Adam's internet took a shit. Adam has no internet. It's dead. He's glitching and everything. So last minute he sent me all the crap and his credit card number and everything, and it was really cool because now I'm gonna buy all kinds of shit. Social security number, yeah, you know. And,
nice.
But I had to log into the stream and do it all from my computer. So that's why we don't have the overtime audio and stuff like that, because I'm not that good at doing everything. So here we go. Holy moly.
I think you did well, bud.
What a week. What a week. I don't know about you guys, but so when holidays, like, of course I like time off for holidays, but when it comes to work, the holidays actually stress me out even more because there's so much of like people getting days off and service calls coming in and putting them off, and like they just seem super stressful for me. I don't know about you guys. No? You guys like them then, huh?
Yeah, of course you like them, bud.
I like awkward silence.
It was. I liked lounging on the couch, going to the house, doing a little bit of work, and the whole time Joe's like sending us pictures of him.
I'm gonna go get something to drink real quick, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
You couldn't have done that when we all went to go get something to drink?
Right? Where's the coordination here, Bill? Come on. Fuck.
This guy over here, man.
We should we should be happy Bill is here, actually. All right.
Yeah, you should. I almost didn't make it.
Really happy. We'll let Bill explain it when he comes back.
Ted Nugent invited me to his house, so I'm here on vacation, and I almost didn't want to do the show tonight.
Oh, nice.
My wife
See the
didn't.
deer back here?
Yeah.
See all those deer? I shot those today.
Really? That was
Nice.
so. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. You mounted them and everything.
Yeah.
Like when you mounted the deer, did you actually mount it from behind? Like how did you mount it? I'm kind of
Well,
confused.
first I put it in a headlock
Okay, got
until
it.
it died. And then I just squeezed its body off and hung it on the wall. Simple. You never been hunting, Chris?
No, I've never been hunting, dude. Never been hunting.
Jeez.
I shot a pigeon off my roof one time.
Yeah, but you still feel bad about that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
What'd you shoot it with?
My pellet gun.
Are you sure you're not just... This is an episode of Simpsons, I feel, where Bart Simpson shot that pigeon with Nelson's BB gun. They felt really bad about it.
Yeah, I used to. My old house we used to live in, the eaves had a bunch of holes in them because we'd have a pigeon problem and I'd shoot the pigeons all the time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the old place you used to live in had a homeless people problem who had pigeons that they brought with them. That would make more sense.
I see you're back off the wagon or on the wagon or whatever. The wagon.
Yeah, this is my second.
that's a good point.
This is my second beer. I had one yesterday, and I wasn't gonna do one today, but I went and grabbed it because of just doing all this crap stressed me out. But yeah, I decided to have a beer yesterday, so it was like 2 weeks, and then I fell off. So
It's good to see everybody in chat. Clyde, Jessica, Hamilton, Master.
For sure.
That's a holiday for
Hey,
you
do
guys.
I get like a coin or something for my 2 week sobriety?
No.
No.
Mockery out of it.
Yeah,
man.
I don't think they give you nothing. Not even Weight Watchers gives you anything after 2 weeks.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, real quick though.
Yeah.
Let's give a quick shout out to our number one fan. Luke and his little buddy Randy. Randy, if you can hear me, bark twice.
He won't stop barking.
Just like an outdoor dog.
No,
Hold on, Randy or Luke, Randy, whoever it is, bark a little louder.
somebody out there bark. Somebody bark out there. But now, Randy was telling me his uncle is in the hospital recovering from hip surgery and a couple other things that happened. I don't know if Randy pushed him down the stairs or what had happened, but he apparently had some sort of hip problems. So we're pulling for you, Randy's uncle.
Woo! What are we pulling?
No, not the cord. Hopefully.
Taffy? We're gonna pull taffy.
Cord.
Pull a taffy.
Have you guys ever pulled taffy? That sounds really dumb to me.
Nobody has pulled taffy since 1930. They have machines that do it now.
Oh, Willy Wonka does. Come on, dude. He hires little people like
That's what I mean.
Indigenous
1930.
people that he steals from an island, and then he moves them over here and doesn't let them go out of his compound.
Yeah, I think
Look at-
Amazon.
Look, what
did
is
the
that,
same
Joe?
thing.
What is that? Did you? Oh my gosh, Joe! I only mailed that out like 3 months ago. You finally got it?
It had to go through the, it had to go through the, you know what I mean?
Wait. You have Joe's address?
No, I have a Mafia PO box in Pennsylvania, and then it went from Pennsylvania to where I don't know. I'm sure it was like mailing something to a prison. They had to get my social security number before I sent it out, and they like
I've been trying to mail Joe heroin for like 3 months now,
That would have got here quicker.
yeah.
but he won't give me his address.
Yeah, you have to send it through the witness protection program. That's
Right.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the FBI overlords.
Oh, Jessica probably noticed that she was blue. That's crazy. Pretty cool.
Oh, Jessica got mod status. Nice.
Friggin' right.
Hey man, my chat's not working.
Mine is. I'm not going to touch anything.
Yeah.
My screens are
Yeah,
just where
kind
they
of.
are. Nothing's happening.
I can't
So-
tell if it's working now. It
We
is
need more
working. It's
women in the
moving now.
trade.
It's moving now.
Why not?
Well, shoot. How was your guys' holidays?
The holiday was bitching, dude. We had
Yeah.
we did
You
a
guys-
non.
You got a crab broil, didn't you?
Yeah, we did non-traditional. We did a crab boil. But it was just myself and my 2 daughters and my wife. But super chill. When you break it down to a crab boil, actually you save money. It was less money than cooking a full
You're right.
turkey dinner. It really was.
I came to my mom's house and it cost me nothing.
There you go.
See?
That's the best, but
I think Jessica, she just realized she's blue and she has a wrench. I think you should test it out. Put Ike in timeout.
There you go.
Just check it, see it, make sure it's working properly.
Yeah, give him a good little timeout.
it was for no reason, right, guys? We just decided to. Jessica.
That was Adam. Adam, he waved his band hammer and
Well, I think what had happened was in the last show there was a troll, and
Yeah.
I even think the troll had addressed me and my beard at one point in time, which I easily brushed off. But Jessica put a message in there: "Hey, stop trolling."
I think Bill, you
Like,
mentioned
yeah.
it first.
so
Yeah,
I want to bring something up. It's probably a little taboo, but I think it's something we could talk about and share our opinions on this. So, I got a bunch of heat, and I kind of said it in our group chat that we were talking about. I got a bunch of heat. We're not going to name who, but I got a bunch of heat about putting a flag on my shirt. On my
flags in your shirt.
yeah, man. Hold on, let me show you. Badass flags too, by the way. I got a bunch of heat for putting this flag on my merch shirt right there.
See, this is like a cheesy plug for his new merchandise, by
Yes.
the way.
Yeah, that sounds like a made up problem.
No, we're good on that. But it was really interesting because there, I did a bunch of research before I decided to put that flag on there, and I realized it was kind of taboo. But I followed everything as far as the proper placement of the flag, the direction of the flag, and all that stuff. But the question lies that there is some archaic rules, laws actually,
Can't use it for nothing.
in Washington, D.C., there's something like it's illegal for anybody but law enforcement and or military to wear flags on their sleeves or something like some weird archaic rule like that. I just think that's kind of a trip. It doesn't apply to everybody else, but I got some pushback on that one though.
When I saw your shirts, the first thing that came to my mind was like anti-American.
Yeah, and I put myself out on the line by actually putting that because there's so many people. That's why I chose to have one that has a flag, one that doesn't. So if someone doesn't want to buy a shirt with a flag, they don't have to. But
That's a good option. Good
You know?
option.
But yeah, I was kind of blown away, like the pushback that it was actually two people. One person emailed me and one person put something in the comments and didn't like the fact that I put a flag on there. And I respect what the person had to say. You know, I mean, it's cool, but I'm not going to take the flag off my shirt. But
I'll be honest, like I've seen the American flag so many places. I literally thought you could just put it anywhere.
I think that some places, you know, some people do some weird shit.
A rape van and then use that rape van to drive around and steal kids and children and do whatever I want, and then put a American flag bumper sticker on there. Yeah, isn't that worse? Isn't that a worse place to see the American flag on a rape van or on one of Chris's Russian-made shirts?
Yeah,
they're definitely.
Well, it's good that you have an option, Chris. That's why you always want to give all options out there. So it's good that you have one without, one with. So
Joe's just happy because he doesn't want to wear the American flag. You know,
right. And see,
you were being very sensitive to the Canadians.
You know what? That's a good point there. I mean, I never even realized that.
No, that was actually something that I thought about. I was actually something I thought about when I did that shirt, because I thought originally I was like, hey, maybe I'll change the design of my original and put a flag on that too. But then I was like, no, because I mean, I respect the fact that there's some people that don't want to wear a flag, whether it be another country or, you know, someone who just does. And that's cool, whatever. You know, I decided to have one with and one without. So I don't like to get political too much, but I am patriotic when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, now that we've been advertising your brand for the last 20 minutes.
What? I didn't advertise. No. Hold on. Wait. I didn't get my proper plug. Okay. If you go to HVACRVideos.com. Hey, you know what? Quiet. Videos. I need all quiet when I'm plugging my website. HVACR.
HVACR merch.
Oh, crap. Let's move on.
That was good. That was good.
Oh, man.
Felt like I was in high school again.
Oh, what did you guys do today? Now that like Turkey Day is over or Thanksgiving, you know, for Joe, you just work like a normal day, right? Because you guys are like anti-American up there, assholes.
I made a little clip
every day, Joe. I bet you worked yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Because you don't have Thanksgiving in Canada. You have like Boxing Day or something.
We do have Thanksgiving, but we don't put it so close to Christmas. So we spread out our feasts. You know what I mean? We like to spread them out.
You spread out your feces? What?
Feasts. Well, that too. I guess you're spreading those out too, but
I mean, you guys only have 3 holidays, right?
Which are
Saint Maple Syrup Day, Christmas, and then Boxing Day.
Do you guys still like have the Queen on your money?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys' money is ridiculous.
That's every other country, dude. America is actually the only money that's ridiculous. Every other country's money is almost identical when it comes to those weird.
I think our money looks awesome.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, how many centimeters does this Gatorade cost? I can't figure it out, and I live in Canada.
No, you know, I had a little clip there, but I guess you can't play it because Adam's internet got into shit.
You can do a screen share if you have it on yours.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. But I'll do that later.
You have to do your audio though too. So,
what do you mean my audio?
Is it a video clip or an audio clip?
Why don't we just save it next week?
We can save it to next week.
Sure.
We're not prepared.
That's basically means Adam doesn't have confidence in me.
I don't know if I can wait till next week to see a vertical video.
No, it's horizontal, and I was showing you just how I made a relay box and stuff like that because I don't have a control.
Were you holding your phone like this, but then you just laid down on your side?
You know, I almost wonder if Joe just doesn't have auto rotate turned on his phone. Like maybe Joe is actually filming vertical, but he just doesn't have the auto rotate feature turned on.
To be honest with you, I don't usually have it on, Chris, but I did put it on. Oh, well, I didn't have to put it on when you're videoing your phone's like this. I think it automatically does it.
No.
Yeah, even if it's on.
Yeah, is it? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, actually, technically, if he didn't have auto rotate on, then the whole thing would be sideways. Actually,
well,
so no, I'm completely wrong.
That's what he did. He sent us a video the one time of him walking into like whoever's mansion it was. Just
is that horizontal or vertical?
You were like holding it like this.
Yeah, it's vertical.
You went like this. So then the camera.
That means he didn't have auto rotate on. Yeah.
That was, you know, I gotta admit, some of those comments were funny, you know. And the first person I comment, I can't remember who it was. I'm like, I should have went with that. I should have pretended it was my house. I was going into it, and then everybody just related to it.
If you went back in time and like gave a pilgrim an iPhone, they would eventually learn how to like, oh, I got the whole. Oh yeah, like I can get a whole turkey in this picture.
Yeah, right. But you have to admit, sometimes it's better at having a vertical picture, like the way, you know. Some things are.
Sometimes, yes, yeah. I would agree.
Okay.
What were we talking? Me and Joe were talking about something. What were we talking about? You yelled at me. You said, "Save it for the show." Like the other.
Oh, we were talking about how Climate Master and Techmar were debating with you about thermostatic mixing valve and debating how to control the buffer tank.
No. Well, we could talk about that, but that gets I don't think people really care about that as much. But
okay, go ahead.
That water to water unit that the taps were mislabeled on, it was wired incorrectly from the factory as well.
What?
Yeah, and you know what's weird? I wish I had the wiring schematic. It actually shows the way it's wired. But it will not work that way unless there's got to be some logic in the board. Where
explain. Why don't you explain? That's a good one. You're talking about the relay and the contact, right?
We went to start it up, and there is a relay. And when you engage a call for heating, it starts the relay. But the way it was wired was the voltage that sits on one side of the relay that would close was on the load side of the contactor. The contactor doesn't close until flow is proved. The flow is proved by the first relay, starting the flow center. So it's like it would close the relay, nothing would happen because it doesn't have power there, and then it would go into a lockout because of a low flow. And I'm like talking to the guy I'm arguing with. He's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. No, it's supposed to be. I flip it. I'm like, why would they start the relay and try to start the flow center when there's no voltage there? It doesn't make any sense. So I moved it to the line side of the contactor right away. Started the flow center, like a minute later, started the compressor. Works fine.
Maybe that unit was supposed to be shipped to Canada, and that's why everything's backwards.
Like the metric.
It's metric. Everything's backwards. The in and the out's backwards. See, that's the same thing. Like, I just don't get the Canadian crap.
How do you guys measure electricity in Canada, Joe?
We just measure it.
With what?
With like a tape measure?
Tape measure.
But is it an American tape measure? It's a metric tape measure. See?
This is a 120 millimeter outlet.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Imagine. Oh, my God.
No, you guys have those funky outlets too, though, right? You guys don't have American outlets, right?
What's the difference?
American outlet is 2 straight lines in a circle.
Yeah, we have that.
Oh, I thought you had those weird-ass ones that are like
3 pins.
Yeah. Weird.
No, I think the European that's European, I believe.
Oh.
Clive could vouch for. I mean,
you do have the queen on your money, so
yeah.
You know who else is underneath the queen?
Who?
The big guy in chat.
Big Clive.
Oh, Clive.
Clive?
Yeah, he's part of the union, isn't he? The UK.
So you know what?
I wonder how Clive feels about the queen.
He probably feels the same way I do. Meh.
I bet Clive does an amazing sarcastic impression of the queen.
I didn't realize how many areas of the world or different countries are, what is it called? Falls under the magistrate.
Yeah.
What is the terminology?
Yeah. 50 hertz. Yeah, 50 hertz is Europe, right?
Yeah. European stuff. Yep, that is weird.
By the way, Rick's Revival's in the chat. That was a cool video.
I heard that Rick grabbed a beer. He hasn't drank in a while, and his wife said that he actually grabbed a beer because he saw us drinking one.
I thought he had a beer while his wife was trying to install that cleaner.
It was cool. She was getting her hands dirty. My wife would never do that, but I was watching her
video, yeah.
And she's like closing them all the way, like, no.
So, give me a spoiler on this video.
Light call.
So the chronic flute actually gets into the HVAC world, or what?
Yes, she does.
She couldn't use the greens though. That was the only issue. She's like, these ones suck or something.
Like pot? Yeah, she was using green pot? What?
I couldn't tell you which one is which.
What are greens?
Green snips.
Oh, we don't do none of that. I'm a refrigeration guy. What the hell?
Lefties?
Dude?
Aren't those lefties?
Lefties.
I carry a pair of yellows, and they're just for cutting everything that I can't cut with my dikes.
Straighties.
The greens you hold with your left hand. I mean, you could hold it with either hand, but it would go like in a clockwise or right direction.
Oh,
and then your right hand.
That makes sense because whenever I use the red ones, they always have like a jagged cut because it feels like I'm cutting with the wrong direction.
Did you guys see that thing I posted on the group? 9,000 ppm?
No, I didn't.
No, what's that?
Oh, carbon monoxide detector. 9,000.
It picked up 9,000 ppm. Where?
Yeah.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
You know what? I didn't ruin it.
Cracked heat exchanger.
Sorry. Plugged secondary.
A carrier. I knew it.
I gotta.
Interesting.
You know what? Adam, you're right. A lot of analyzers will get ruined with that. And I think even Kevin mentioned to me in chat, you're good with one, but he knows as well as I do, and maybe other people as well, that one thing about that TPI, I had it for so long, they put a 10,000 whatever sensor, max sensor. So it's good up until 10,000. And a lot of them, not mentioning the big names, a lot of them still don't. You reach 4,000, you got to recalibrate or the sensor's done. But this TPI that I have, that's one thing they did awesome. From the factory when I got it so long ago, 10,000 max sensor, which was awesome. So I might still calibrate it, but it's still good.
Why don't you? It didn't jump up right away. As you see it skyrocketing, once it goes over 100, why don't you just pull it away, bro?
Because I had to take a shot.
Yeah.
You want to make a video. You're like, you're dedicated. This is Steven Spielberg over there. He was
Right.
Winchester 156 asks a good question. What direction do your clocks go in Canada?
Counterclock. Well, can't be counterclockwise. We don't have clocks. We have digital.
Why don't you have clocks?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something smart to say.
Okay.
You don't have clocks? Don't you? Aren't you guys the place with Big Ben?
Oh, Big Ben, like.
And you have those red buses that drive around everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Red buses. Oh,
And your guys' police wear those
TTC?
stupid like Q-tip hats or whatever?
No,
Yeah, and they got
man,
the
not
wooden billy
here.
clubs and whistles instead of guns.
No,
Because
that's
it's Canada.
that's UK. That's England.
Hey, my family started watching
thing.
some show about a Canadian Mountie, so I feel like I kind of know you a little bit
Is it
more. Joe.
Northern Exposure?
No. It's some Hallmark show my wife turned on, and I just sat down and started watching it. It was in his...
I'll give you some northern exposure.
Oh, yeah? Will you?
You gonna lift your shirt up?
No.
It's gonna be all his freaking gang tattoos is what it's gonna be, dude.
Yeah.
Joe's all tatted up.
Blood
I
in,
was gonna
blood
say like
out.
fig life across
Yeah.
the stomach.
You guys were talking about Rick and his wife. I haven't had a chance to watch that video yet, but I saw it pop
Tuck
up.
tape.
But I was trying to work with my wife yesterday. We were working together doing merch stuff, and my gosh, dude, like seriously, we could not work together. I even told her, I was like, you could not work at my company. Like this is not gonna happen.
Can
Like
you imagine that?
we
That
could
would be
not like
amazing.
and it's fine. She was doing her thing, but I'm like, hey, let's fold the shirts. Okay. So we're folding the shirts and I lay them down on a table and it's like perfect straight lines and nice and creased, right? And we're folding and she's just like flop, 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 flop. And I go, what the fuck is that? She goes, I folded it. I go, no, you like rolled that shit together and just like shoved it in a bag. I go, no, you need to fold it. She's like, okay, I'll fold the next one right. And then she goes flop, 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 flop. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Meanwhile, Chris is on Amazon. He buys one of those like folding boards. That they like freaking
She told me she would fold it right if she got one of those. I was like, I'm not buying shit. I'll just fold them right. And then she goes, yeah, I'll
So
do
you
it.
know what our profit margin is on this?
No, her and I could not. We do good when she does her thing and I do my thing.
Yeah.
The amount of volume you're doing. Did you ever see that clothes folding robot that you just throw the clothes in there and they? It's like a.
You know what you could do? It might even be cheaper on shipping. It's just roll them up.
Just roll them
That's
up.
how I literally don't fold my clothes. I roll them up into.
I do that when I
You're
travel.
one of those guys.
When I-
my
No,
God.
when I-
gotta
when
fold
I-
my t-shirts, man.
Yeah,
You
when
got
I
time for
travel, I can manage to take the smallest suitcase in the world because I roll everything all nice and tight.
that. You know where I learned that from?
A movie,
Home
right?
Improvement.
Yeah.
Oh, that used to be awesome. I used to watch that.
Mm-hmm. It was
Isn't that
one of
funny?
their storage secrets for one of the kids that lived in the basement. Hey, look, I'm rolling my t-shirts. I'm like, well, I'm going to do that from now on for the rest of my life.
I was gonna change this topic, sorry, but I think there was something we were talking about, Adam, and it was about relays. And
Really?
you guys could all agree with me. They should have a course for HVAC techs, everything to do with a relay. Because I think if you understand a relay, and you could do so many things, and I think it could put you aside from the rest.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Who doesn't understand a relay? I'm confused. You put power
There's
to the
a-
coil and it reacts either normally open or normally closed. Problem solved.
No, there's a lot of people that
I know,
There's a
I know
lot,
people
Chris.
that
There's
don't
a-
understand how inducer motors work and when too much cock is too much cock.
Really, right? Too much cock is too much cock.
We could have a show, Joe. There was
Were you talking to my wife today? I'm confused.
Mm-mm.
Nice try.
I know where you're going with this, Chris. I ain't going to give you that.
We should have a show called Fun with Relays.
Yeah. Okay, like even
I don't
the thing
understand that
said-
though. You can launch a space shuttle with relays. It either does one thing or the other thing, or if it's a fancy one, it does the other thing while it does the one thing. Like, I mean, it's not
Right,
that big of a deal.
right.
I'll be honest with you. The only part of relays that are confusing for me are solid state
Okay.
relays. But after a long conversation with Big Clive, I have a somewhat better understanding of them.
As in,
Confusing.
what confuses you about solid state? Maybe I'm confused about them too, so I don't get it.
How they work exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm not trying to take them
That's a
apart.
good one, Bill.
Okay, I'm not trying to take them apart. The only thing about solid state relays, even relays in general, one thing you need to understand is you typically can't. Well, depending on, I guess it's a solid state relay. You can't ohm them out when they're not energized, right? That's one of the
I think you can.
only
Well,
on
no,
solid state. I don't think you can.
can't. Oh no,
Solid state. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you that.
Yeah.
the last time I got screwed with solid state, you could say the relays or solid state was a thermostat. I don't know if Adam, you could vouch for me. They were thermostats and they're solid state. So I was trying to isolate 24 volts and which one's calling, because I went to a job. I didn't do the loops, and I had to figure out what loop went to what room. So I had the thermostats W call all apart. But when I put my lead to my calls, I was getting 24 volts everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I traced my wires nonstop. I'm like, okay, I wired this right. What's going on here? Then I realized, I go, wait a minute. I went back and I remember a system used to wire their like this air cooled chiller the same way. It's a solid state thermostat, so it needs a load to for it to read anything or not read anything. It needs a load on that thermostat, and that tripped me up. And I still remember that, and I will never forget
I've
that.
never heard of such a thing.
Someone,
Yeah.
someone said, damn it, I already got lost in the chat. Someone was talking about latching circuits, and latching circuits used to confuse me when it comes to contactors and motor starters, or holding circuits, I guess you can call them too, like push button start, push on off start buttons. You guys know what I'm talking about for like exhaust fan systems and stuff. Those things used to confuse me, but once you figure it out, you're like,
You're
oh,
talking
that
about-
makes sense.
Is that
Somewhere
kind of
adjustable?
like-
I'm not talking about the adjustable ones. I'm talking about the latching, like the way that you wire up a system so it's a latching circuit. So when you push the start button, it's a momentary switch on the start button. It only energizes when you push it in, but it energizes a relay, and it's a holding circuit essentially until you de-energize it. Those
Gotcha.
used to confuse me.
That's like a dryer.
Yeah.
Most dryers.
Yeah. It just has a whole. I call it a holding circuit, or it's a latching circuit, whatever.
Yeah, see, that's the side of relays I think that are confusing. But I mean,
If you
the
can
whole other side,
understand a
like, how do you
schematic,
use them,
though, if you can understand a schematic, and see, that's one of the things that I have a hard time with. People always ask me, "Hey, can you make a video explaining how schematics work, or can you tell me how schematics work over Facebook?" And it's like, I can't. I can't teach that. Like, it took me a while, but once you get it, it clicks, and you'll never forget how to read a schematic. It's like, oh, okay, this is,
You know what it is, Chris? I think a lot of people, I don't know if you guys were the same, but I was the type that I could look at a schematic, I could dissect that thing, but go wire it now. Go wire it and go, never mind trace it, because that's even easy too, you could say.
Yeah.
It's going to go wire something yourself, you know what I mean? And figuring out what to do.
You know what helped me when it came to learning schematics is, and this won't apply for everything, but the most basic and simplest terms in understanding switches in a schematic is by using water, by thinking of it as water pipes. A switch closes, the water flows through. Now when you put a coil in there, that's when it starts to get confusing. You're trying to energize a relay coil or whatever. But the general idea of using water in a piping circuit to understand a ladder diagram and how to read a ladder diagram, you're like, oh, okay. And then you start introducing all the other components into it, and then it made more sense. But
yeah, I think with schematics, I still think if you could label things more, like pinpoint, listen, this is happening here, so down here, this is gonna happen. They gotta label that, or they should, when you're training it, label it like, you know what I mean? For sure, like what's going on, because that's where people get lost. I think when
It's a
something
sequence of
here-
operation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but sometimes if you don't know a sequence operation of that unit, you think, what's going on? This is opening here. Okay, so why is this opening? Like, you know what I mean? It's just
might not be able to follow the voltage flow if you're not sure what component should be energized.
True, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
A lot of times you're not going to be able to figure out the sequence of operation unless you know the logic in the board.
Weren't we just
Right.
talking about this, Adam? Weren't we talking about writing down sequence of operation on systems? Was it you that I was talking to about that?
Yeah, that one that I'm working on right now, I was going to label all the wires and label them on a sheet, like which one is connected here to point A to point B on this control here, blah, 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 and then spell out what it's supposed to do in the sequence of operation on there. So people like in the future they don't go there and they're like, what the?
Yeah, I agree.
Reverse engineering.
Because I've done some
That's
stuff
right.
rewiring exhaust fan panels and whole building exhaust systems to be interlocked into the fire suppression system, the occupied signal for like I've done all kinds of crap. But when I did that, I did it all out of my head, and then I sat down and I must have spent 6 hours trying to draw out a schematic. And I was like, every time I know how it works, but it was so hard for me to draw the schematic out to make sense. And I know the symbols in the schematic, but it was just the certain things it was doing. It got really confusing. And then what I ended up doing on that, because I couldn't draw out the schematic, was I just printed out a sequence of operation and labeled all the relays. Like, okay, relay A does this when you push this, and relay B does this. So then that way, someone goes in behind me, they can at least figure it out, reverse engineer it, and say, oh, okay, relay A does this, and you know.
It's funny. This week I got tripped up by a relay, actually. I had a proofer at a bakery that had caught fire, and I had to go back in through, rewire everything, put all new components in there. And I had the schematic, so I just wired everything off the schematic. I got done, powered it up, watched the temperature go up, because it has a big display on the door. It says your humidity level, timers, all that stuff, and temperature. And so I'm standing there watching, and it's got a little tiny illuminated decimal point when it's heating, right next to the number. So I'm watching, it gets up to temperature, like 117 or whatever, that little decimal point goes off. Like, all right, we're good to go. I got a call the next day saying that it never stopped heating. So I went back out there and I found the heat relay had failed. It's got two, I don't know what you call it. It's a double pull, double throw relay. One side had failed open. The other side had failed closed. That other side was where my heaters were. So it was literally heating nonstop the entire time.
What is a proofer?
It's how would you describe it? Like a high humidity box where you put raw dough bread or raw bread dough in there, and then you just slowly let it rise. You
So
can do the
it's
same thing at
almost
room
like
temperature, but it's easier
just
to control.
Isn't it just pre-cooking the bread so they can bake it later?
Probably something to do with that.
Right. So, okay,
But it's not
correct
really
me if I'm
cooking
wrong.
it,
So
though,
like,
'cause-
think about Subway, right? Don't they make, or they whatever with the dough, and then don't they put it in a proofer so it's ready so that way they can bake it later? Am I incorrect on that completely? I don't know.
It
Whatever.
has to go in the proofer first, and then
I don't
couldn't
know.
tell you.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I just-
All I know is it does have to be proofed, and I don't think it's actually cooking it. It's obviously a needed part of the process.
Got it.
But I don't think it's actually cooking it, because it's only like 105 degrees inside that box, 88% humidity,
Yeah.
and then they put it in the 450 degree oven.
Everybody's saying it's for rising the bread. It just makes the bread rise so that way, yeah, and it's not cooking it. And
Yeah.
Clive is saying it either holds or pushes the yeast action into the bread.
How does Clive even know everything about bread, electronics,
Clive knows
Steve-
bread?
everything.
Sometimes
He's
I
a
feel
cooker.
like I just need to call Clive when like I can't figure out just like simple tasks around the house. Like, maybe just call Clive. Clive could probably figure this out.
Like when it's just something so simple and stupid, and you're like, I'll just Google it. But then like Clive's like, oh yeah, you don't know that? I'm like, oh yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Hey, Joe,
Yes.
can you send Clive one of
Just
your
watch his
burner phones
videos.
that we could use as like an HVAC overtime hotline to call him?
Absolutely.
Oh, like we can have a big red phone.
Like call a
A
friend.
big red phone, yeah.
What's that? What's that from? Wait. What's the big red?
Batman.
Oh snap, Joe.
Or every
Joe.
movie with a president in it ever.
Dude, that is
They all
awesome.
have big red phones.
But I was thinking Batman.
Yeah,
And
you're
Joe
right.
and I, we were freaking connected, dude. We got
Right
this.
there. First time.
Wait, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
In order to touch Joe, I have to go the opposite way. I'm going towards my window. It's going the opposite direction.
I bet you want to touch Joe, you weirdos.
Yeah, that is weird.
Joe said you don't need a proofer in Florida. Yeah, we don't think we need one here either. Our relative humidity is pretty high down in Toronto as well, to be honest with you. Just like
Relative
Florida.
humidity at my house today is 10%. we had Santa Ana winds. Like, that's our wind event. It was really dry. It's nuts, dude.
You like run humidifiers in the summertime?
Actually, I've thought about getting a humidifier just because I'm sick of the static electricity. So
You must go through body lotion like nobody's business.
in my old house that I used to live in, it was all carpet, and the static was just nuts. Every time you touch a receptacle, or outlet, every time you touch anything, it's like, fuck, you get shocked.
No
Plus,
wonder
Chris-
your state's always on fire then.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. Plus, you should know this, Chris, that that certain disease doesn't like dry air. I've been having a little boost on steam humidifiers lately. But they're saying humidities, yeah, that disease. They're saying dry air in your house, like the particles of the bacteria, like linger longer in the air. Yeah.
Hissing disease.
So what?
Hissing disease.
Hissing?
Hissing.
Kissing?
Adam's frozen.
Kissing.
What?
Adam's
Who's
frozen.
missing?
Adam's internet is going down.
Wait,
Yeah.
who's
Oh,
missing?
I got the best internet. I got the best internet.
You know this show is going to shit when Joe is making fun of people.
Adam does not have the power right now. Joe must have I think Joe's been eating some edibles, dude, because he's pretty
Nah, I
happy right
wish.
now.
I wish. It's
you
the
hear
power
me
of the
yet?
t-shirt. It's the power
you
of the
hear me?
t-shirt.
It is
hear
the
me?
t-shirt. The t-shirt gives you mocking power.
All
He's
right.
just happy. A couple days ago, he finally got paid from YouTube for that TXV video that he put out a couple months ago.
Oh,
God.
that's right. You know that I secretly promoted that video. That's why it went viral, Joe.
I bet.
Good idea.
That friggin' gook he put on.
But I
anyways.
do have to say, Joe, that I had a phone call from John Pastorello himself, and he was a little bit upset with you using the competitor's product in that video, dude. He was really pissed off that you were using Leak Lock or Blue Death, dude. So,
Tell me, you know what? Don't worry. I wasted it all in that one job.
okay.
I'll switch over.
But I think
Yes.
you're still on his shit list, so sorry, bud.
I'll try and win him back.
Yeah.
How was your week, anyways, Chris? Before the Thanksgiving.
It was all right. Just a normal week. Nothing too crazy. I'm trying to think. Just closing out some jobs, finishing some things up. Nothing too crazy. Today was cool. Today we went with the family and we just went to a local mountain community, had lunch and went hiking. So that was kind of nice. It was super nice outside. So
Did you see any Bigfoots?
no Bigfoots, but I wish I could show pictures right now, but I can't. I got stuck on a rock.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Did you have to cut your hand off?
No, but I almost jumped in the lake instead of trying to get down the way that I came up. Because I'm not 17 anymore. And so there was this big ass boulder on the side of this. It's not even a lake. I would almost call it a pond. It was a tiny little thing. But in the summertime in this area, the kids, they climb up this rock and they actually poured a little concrete pad up there that's flat. So that way they can jump off of it into the lake. And so I went up there and I took some pictures because we were just taking family pictures. And then as I was climbing up, I remember thinking, wow, this is kind of interesting getting up, but okay. I'd say the rock was maybe like 15 feet high. And there was like little areas to put your feet as you're climbing up. But when I got up there, I realized how slippery it was on top. And so I'm taking the pictures and I'm thinking the whole time I'm up there, I'm like, how the hell am I going to get down from this? And then it came time to get down and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And I was like, I think I'm going to jump. But then I'm looking and I go, man, that's like 15 feet and then 6 foot out. I was like, I don't know. And then people start walking by because it's like a little trail. And some guy goes, oh, looks like, was it difficult to get up? And I go, no, but it's difficult to get down. And I'm standing there. He goes, oh, can I help you? And then another guy comes over and goes, do you need help? And I'm like, no, guys, I'm cool.
Man.
I'm cool. You guys can move on. You know, so I'm just kind of
And before you know it, the fire department's there with a ladder.
Yeah.
fired. But that was the next step. So then my wife, she's like, it's okay. You got this. Just go down the way you came up. And I go, it's not that easy. Can you just chill for a minute? Let me think about this. And I'm looking and I'm like weighing my options. And I really did think about just dropping my crap and jumping in the lake and screwing it. Like, you know, it'll be cold. But I ended up getting down, but I had to like shimmy down because I went up with my belly to the rock, climbed up it, and so I had to go down backwards. But because it was 15 foot, I couldn't see where my feet were going to go because they had to go in certain places.
That's
So I had my wife back there like telling me, okay, put your right foot down another 6 inches. Okay, another 6. No, over to the left. And I'm like, how the, what the, you know, people are watching. And when I get down, they're like, hey, thanks for the show. And I'm like, fuck off.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's so
I have a
thanks for the
question.
show.
As you were climbing up and the whole thought process of climbing up, did you think of the big picture?
Nope.
Yeah, what was your end game?
Nope,
there?
nope. I didn't have an
Good
end
one,
game in
good
mind.
one.
I just went for it. Because again, when I was 17, who cares when you did that crap? And here I am,
Right.
37, and it's like, oh crap, I'm up here now. Like,
And
what
when
am I
you're
gonna
climbing down, did you yell at your wife to hold your walker still?
do? Shut up.
Just
Yeah.
Tarzan jump and pray. Oh
You get
God.
stuck in high places. You're pooping your pants all the time.
That's why there's so many shit stories.
You're basically
Anyways.
our elder of the group.
I am your elder of the group.
Daniel Alvarado had a great question, and he said, "Do y'all get calls from other techs needed help? What are usual problems y'all see they get stuck on?"
I do. I get emails and messages all the time, and I'll be honest, a lot of the times people ask me things that I have no idea. But I would say majority, and I don't mean offense to anybody, but majority of the problems are people not really thinking about what they're doing or not understanding what they're working on. Like, for instance, I'll get a question, hey, my walk-in freezer's not coming down to temp. I changed a compressor, and it's just not working, and my pressures are good. And I go, what is good pressures? That doesn't mean anything. Like, and what I find is I have to deconstruct what they're doing. And I have to say, okay, is your sight glass clear? No. Okay, stop what you're doing. But then I can't tell someone to clear a sight glass because you have to, is the evaporator iced up?
Yeah.
No. Because sometimes you tell people clear a sight glass and then you find out later, oh yeah, it's totally iced up.
Well, have you ever gone through the whole thing where you're walking through the steps with somebody, you're asking them the questions, and they're not actually telling you the correct answers. They're like, yeah, I checked that.
Yeah.
No.
And you know that they're lying?
They don't think you're right.
Yeah.
And they just give you the yeah thing.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
That's what I do with Comcast when I'm on with the internet, and they're like, "Did you try resetting the router?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me hold on, let me go downstairs and do that again." And I'm just like on the couch. Yeah, okay, did it. Nope, still the same problem.
You got to do that at least 4 times before they'll give you a different solution.
Exactly.
And
How
then
about
they're
you,
like,
Bill?
let me transfer you to my senior person. Oh, I get dumb phone calls all the time. Not so much nowadays since I'm missing 2 of my technicians, but yeah, my phone calls were just from green guys, inexperienced guys. So I don't have nothing nice to say about the things they would call me about.
To be honest with you, this year, I think I got more calls from not techs. The techs I did get calls for, it was good discussion techs.
Yeah.
Even Adam, we had good, guys, we had good. But the guys that asked me questions, I think questions are not techs. They're like other people.
Oh.
And it's frustrating because if you're not in front of the machine, it's hard to say what's wrong with it. You know what I mean?
That's one of the things that I find myself struggling with as I'm trying to give tech support to guys over the phone. For one, I'm at the mercy of their ability to understand what's going on in front of them and then relay it to me. And sometimes that's very, very difficult. And I forget what it was, but I was just talking to a guy the other day and guiding him through some stuff. And I was telling him this, and I was getting the yeahs. And then a little while later, he's like, oh, I can do this. I'm like, yeah, I told you that. Like, I literally told you that. Like, he was trying to identify a condensing unit for an ice machine on a roof where they had multiple abandoned units. And I'm like, well, I know the ice machine. I was like, you can go right into the control board. It'll tell you what condensing unit it's attached to.
Yeah.
It's got a communication wire.
Yeah.
And he's
nice.
like, yeah. And then later on, he figured that out. He's like, oh, did you know you could? Yeah, I did know that. I told you that 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Dipshit.
I just, the other day, actually, I think it was just last week sometime, I was talking to someone, and he diagnosed a circuit board on a train package unit that wasn't, he said the circuit board's bad because it was sporadically turning the unit on and off, So I go, just because the train circuit boards are so expensive for like their older Voyager units. Actually, it wasn't even a Voyager.
Those big old green RTRM boards.
Yeah, the RTRM boards. They're
I
super
hate those
expensive,
boards.
and it's like, I don't want to sell the customer a $1,000 board if that's not what's wrong, So I went out there to go follow up, and I'm looking at it, and I call him, and before I even did anything, I call him and I said, okay, I want you to walk me through what you did when you got here, what you checked, so I can reconstruct what happened to you. And he was starting to get annoyed, and I'm like, look, dude, don't get annoyed. I said, I'm gonna do this because this is a $1,000 board. Like, I'm not gonna sell this to the customer without double checking 100%. So don't take offense.
He just thinks you're micromanaging.
Yeah. But then we go through it, and I go, okay, so what was your logic? And he's getting upset with me, and I said, okay, explain to me. So he goes, well, I turned the thermostat on and I put it in cooling mode, and then the whole unit just turned off like emergency stop. And I go, okay, was the red light on the RTRM board solid when this happened? And he goes, yeah. And it's like, that's not the answer I want to hear. That's the, yeah, I think, and it's like, no. And I go, okay. I said, so after you think you diagnosed the board because the thermostat wasn't, potentially, I said, did you put it into self-test? Well, how do you do that? And it's like, okay, so, and then this is where it was a learning moment. I said, look, you have no business being upset with me when I questioned you, because the reason why I questioned you was because I didn't have the utmost confidence. And I said, there's nothing wrong with me with you not knowing how to work on it. I said, but the moment that you get mad at me because I'm questioning you, because I have doubts, I said, this is what's going on. So then I said, here's what I'm going to do. I said, here's my logic. I said, I'm going to turn it on from the thermostat, see if it does whatever it does. If it does, then I'm going to put it through a self-test, and I'm going to see if it does it again. And then I'm going to put it through, jumping out the contacts at the thermostat board. I said, so then I'm going to test the thermostat, I'm going to test the circuit board, and I'm going to test, from the jumper wires. And, actually, I couldn't get it to reproduce the problem that he had at all. So I told the customer, look, it could have been doing something, but it's not doing it now. Let's let it go and see if it happens again.
Yeah.
Is there really a problem? I don't know. Maybe there is. And that's what I told my guy. I said, I'm not mad because you potentially misdiagnosed it. I said, stuff happens. I said, it may be bad. It may be intermittent. Who knows? But I said, we can't just accept the fact that we're going to sell a $1,000 board like that. We got to think twice.
Chris,
Yeah.
I have like the perfect mic drop for you with your tech. Whenever you get into an argument about like, hey, I want you to check this or that. And they're like, I don't think so. All you need to do is, you're on the phone. Just clear your voice a little bit. How many subscribers do you have on YouTube?
That's a good one.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man.
It's such an ass.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
honestly, I agree, Chris. How many times I've called tech support, I'm pretty sure you guys too.
Yeah.
I just call them, and all of a sudden it's working.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit, man. You know what I mean? Like,
kind of segueing off of that, what's even worse is when a guy calls you and he has absolutely no information for you. Like no voltages, no pressures, like
no temperatures.
Like, I just got here. It's doing this. Like, okay.
Or
Did
all.
you do any? Did you have your tools with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have your tools with you.
I get the, the guys too that, hey, yeah, everything's working fine. I can't find anything wrong with it. And I'm like, I know this customer and they don't make nuisance calls. Like there's something wrong. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's working. Like they get defensive, and I go, what was your system pressures? What were your temperatures? Well, the pressures were good. What is good?
You're good.
What is good? Like I'm sick of hearing good. What do you think good is?
Yeah.
I said, what were your saturation temperatures? I didn't write it down, which basically is code for I didn't check it.
do it.
And it's like,
It's funny. I've talked to several different people, even not in my company, that like when they call for an issue with residential systems and charging, maybe it's a TXV or whatever, and right away they're like, my pressures are good, like you say, and they tell me the PSI, and I'm like, I don't even know what the PSI means.
It doesn't mean anything.
PSI is like when I'm doing a pressure test on a system. That's it. I never look at the PSI,
And that's what I mean, I even say that all the time, and I try to preach it all the time. The pressures are going to change for every different flavor of refrigerant, and there's so many different out there right now. So forget the pressures. Let's look at the temperatures. Problem
Best one
solved.
was I had a guy calling me for just bouncing some ideas off me over the phone. And I was like, what are your pressures? He said, yeah, they're good. And he might even rattle off a temperature. And I was like, all right, well, quote it for 2 guys. We'll go back out there and I'll give you a hand with it. And I go back out there and we get there and he's looking at it. And he's like, this thing doesn't even have pressure ports on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
Didn't you tell me that you tested the pressures?
No, I don't remember telling you that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And
So
then
what the hell they do?
He was using the
Bad
measure,
TXV.
Yeah.
the measure quick method where you just put your clamps on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Non-invasive. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that.
You know what?
Just shotgun and parts.
Speaking of measure quick and field piece, actually trying to sell it. He didn't even know about him. That's what's crazy. Like some people don't even know about the stuff that's out there.
Joe, I get
like
that
the
too.
probe.
I get, and it blows my mind.
Yes, and he deals with chassis heat pumps all the time, like the condos.
What's a
all the time.
chassis heat pump?
It's the condo units.
Oh, those tiny
Or
ones
like
that go, they're like
closets.
weird.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Yes, and they have a closed indoor cooling tower or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, he didn't even know about him, and he's like, and he's worried about charge. He's worried about all these little things. I'm like, dude, why don't you get the probes? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the probes. Like, probes. You put them on and blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
the people that actually watch YouTube and that are like techie people,
Yeah.
is a very small percentage of HVAC, right?
It
Very
is.
small.
That is very true.
Because I have a lot of friends, that own companies, that work for companies that I talk to, and I'm like rattling off different tools. The one guy was like, micron gauges suck. I gave up on it. I just let it go for like 2 hours. Like, well, what micron gauges have you used, and what are you using to pull a vacuum? He's like, I just use my manifold, and I have like the Supco one with the little lights. I'm like,
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No offense to Selco, but that was
I have that one too. It's
So do
like
I.
my
yeah, it was
third backup.
Yeah, I hope so.
I use that currently as like a paperweight.
Yeah.
Paperweights.
Clive makes a good point. Well, the compressor sounded right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard that before too.
So
I did a spot check on a PM that one of my guys did, and I could immediately tell the scrolls were running backwards. Yeah, that distinct noise.
the sound.
And I called him. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. The compressor sounded right." And I remember him specifically telling me that. And I'm like, "Yeah, they're running backwards, man. They sound like garbage."
But yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because you and I know that you can tell if you've been around, sounds of compressor. Like the other day, I was trying to charge a unit. I think I sent I sent a little video about the refrigerator inside the pool. But anyways, I was filling it up, and on this unit, it's grateful that you could put on the pump down on and off, on and off. So I was trying to fill it up without making the compressor kick off. So as soon as he started hearing it, I'm like to my helper, click that button, click the pump down. Because I didn't want it to shut the compressor off, right? So I was just feeding it. You have to kind of baby it. But you could tell the noise when it's starting to pump down, getting to that low pressure or high pressure. The noise, anyways, it's...
I find back to the YouTube stuff, this one's kind of something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I have to be careful. Like, I don't push this on people, but I really think that more manufacturers, I'm biased when I say this, so that's why I got to be careful about telling people, especially manufacturers. But I think more manufacturers need to utilize advertisement on YouTube. And that's why I say I'm biased. But because, do you guys really read a magazine? I mean, do you really, like, I have one of these desktop magazines and it's got a field piece advertisement in it, okay?
Nope, I never read those.
But I bet you they pay thousands and thousands of dollars for that little advertisement in that thing.
I don't even understand the points of those anymore, honestly. The only thing I read are like the tech tips that Brian Orr puts out.
Yeah.
And then whenever I Google something, if I have a question, like say a Sporlan 90-30-1 document comes up, I'll save it and read it later.
My face should come up when you say that.
90-30-1.
I say that so many times all the time, that the winter charge document. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that too many people are uninformed, Joe, like what you were saying about that tool. And it's interesting. It blows my mind that people don't know about probes. And I get it too. I get people in my videos commenting, hey man, what are those things you're using on the system? Where's your normal gauges? And it's like, wow. And I'm happy that I can inform them. Like, that's cool. But I'm blown away because I've always been so interested in the trade that I've always wanted the next best thing. I made the mistake though in the beginning, because I would go to the supply house, and I don't mean offense to the supply houses, but I would go to the supply house and they would say, oh yeah, this is the best vacuum gauge you can buy. And it was like the CPS, the little yellow 3-button thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it works great. And I bought that and I plug it in and I'm like, I don't know how to use this thing. Like what, it goes crazy. Like I didn't understand it. So I feel like on the manufacturer's side too, there's a disconnect from how they train techs how to use it. And I feel like the supply house, there's a disconnect too on what's the best. And sometimes I go into the supply houses, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm up on a pedestal, but I'll go in and I'll inform the supply houses about this new tool that's coming out. And they're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Really? And I'm like, you guys need to get this on the shelf. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, you got to talk to the people at purchasing at the corporate office. And I'm like, hey, it's not my problem if you don't have the tool on the shelf, dude. Like, I got no skin in this game, you know, but I'm sitting here thinking you guys could help people, you know?
It's funny. I just bought not too long ago. This is how long I had to wait for it. I don't know why I couldn't find one online at the time. Then just said,
Well, it doesn't help that people have to go through like 18 channels to send you anything, Joe. You know?
True.
Yeah.
No,
True,
I
true.
was just looking for this item, and that was a Subco umbrella. I've heard bad things, but I always just wanted it. You know, I just wanted to try it out. I finally got it, and the guy when I got it is like, so I see it on top of a condenser unit inside the suppliers, and I went, yeah, cool, that's the Subco. Yeah, I'll take that as well. And then we kept on going, and it's like he didn't even realize I said I'll take it. I'm like, yeah, I want that. Oh, you want it? I'm like, yeah. And he was shocked because he says, oh yeah, I only got 2 of them in. I want to see if they sold. Like, he had no clue. Like you said, there was no information. They have no clue of products that are out there. He because himself tried it. He was like the manager. He just wanted to try it because I guess he heard of it, and he sold one. And he was happy. He was ecstatic. I'm like, yeah, I'll just take it. Cost me like 100 or 120 bucks, I think, over here.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about the probes and all that. He's like, oh, you're so fascinated because, like you said, there's a big disconnect. I don't get it. Why?
My thing is with the supply houses, because I'm a, you know, I like to buy things from TrueTech, and that's great, but I really like to physically hold things in my hand before I buy them.
Yeah.
There's
That's
apprehension about buying. Like, I just bought a new Vito bag from TrueTech, and it's not everything that I wanted it to be. It's a great bag. There's nothing wrong with it, but I wanted to hold it to know that it would fit all my crap, you know?
Yeah.
Did you use your discount code?
No, I'm cool. I really don't. I used the overtime. Yeah, I did the overtime discount code is what I did. But
was there a picture of us in there?
I wish.
no, there wasn't a picture. It wasn't a picture. man.
Overtime has a discount code too, guys. What was
Yeah.
it? What is it?
Habit. It's
OT.
Habit. HVAC
I don't even know what it is.
OT, right?
I'm like the only one using
No, it's
the discount code.
I used Chris's
HAVOT.
the one time I ordered something.
Yeah.
Bill, you're supposed to be. You're funny.
But I wish that more supply houses, physical supply houses, had these tools in there. You know, it's very rare that I go in and I get to pick up a tool that I've never seen before on the internet.
I know.
And I feel
know.
like
It's one of
there's
my
a
biggest gripes about supply houses. They don't have any tools. I don't buy tools a lot, but the few occasions I'm like, you know, I'm looking for some wireless probes or whatever. And you go in there and they don't have nothing. They got like tools from like 1980 still on the shelf.
Yeah.
I absolutely have no apprehension of buying a tool from online, because you know what? I've tried to tell the supply houses, I've asked them, and they don't show up, so screw them. Now, I still have apprehension about buying supplies online. I still am married to the supply houses as far as buying fittings and different things. Like, I still try to do that. But even that, I'm starting to get questionable, because some supply houses really have like a chip on their shoulder, because they're so in with new Calgon, which is fine, but they don't want to sell any refrigeration technologies products. And I'm like, well, then screw you. I'm buying it from TrueTech, and you just lost out on $10,000 a year in freaking chemicals that I'm going to buy, or more, or whatever it is. You know.
Why new Calgon and not refrigeration?
And I'm not trying to talk crap about new Calgon.
No,
I'm just saying some people like both brands.
They have reps. Like, they're not selling directly to the company.
Exactly.
The company hires a rep. The rep sells to, and they sell like a package of manufacturers.
And they give them good pricing if you take the entire package. And they get mad if you bring in other things. Well, that's got to stop. That's just stupid. And
it is.
And I don't mean to be a punk, right? But why do we have reps? Like, I don't want to put anybody out of work. I really don't. But in the day and age of the internet, do you really need a representative to come and bring products into your supply houses when you can have a guy sitting at the counter or a guy in the corporate office scouring the internet, looking on the forums, talking to people, asking people, what do you like? What chemicals do you like? You know, I mean, I understand the reason for reps, but it just frustrates me that I have one particular supply house that I used. I have two that I use religiously, okay? One that I use a lot more. And it's like, they don't have what I want, but I love their customer service. I love the clean supply houses, but it's starting to irritate me that they don't care. And I've even thought like, hey, maybe I need to go to the corporate office. But you know what? Why am I, the consumer, wanting to go bang on the corporate office's door to say, I want to give you my business? that's ass backwards.
Yeah, I've actually tried that. I've tried to be like, why don't you guys start carrying this so I can buy it through you?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's going to be like a big process to do that and everything. I'm like, whatever, I'll just buy it online.
Then that's what and so then you know what? If they're not willing to seek my business, then they're losing out on my business because it's getting easier and easier for me to go online. And I don't want to do that. I really do believe in the supply houses because
Me too.
we can't push the supply houses out because I need a compressor at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
I can't order it online and see it in 2 days. Like, no. I need it now. So of course I need the supply houses to be there, but I don't know.
You know what website is awesome though? Supplyhouse.com. I love them.
I wish I could get from there. They don't ship to Canada. It's bad. It's
They don't ship to you because you got to ship it to one PO box, and then you pay like some old lady to transfer it from that PO box to another PO box across town. To then your brother, I think, picks it up.
Joe, don't
gives
you
it to your
have like
dad.
lackeys that get shit for you? Like, don't you have like a guy named Guido that'll do
True.
stuff
That's
for you?
kind of racist. That's
Yeah, like a guy who's always in an Adidas
I'm just joking.
jumpsuit.
Yeah,
It's funny.
Guido
The
is
guy
in an Adidas
or
jumpsuit,
Puma
yeah.
suit.
Yeah, it's always Adidas or Puma.
But yeah,
Anyways,
supplyhouse.com has everything. And when I go to a supply house and they say, yeah, it's going to be like 2 or 3 weeks for us to bring it in. Supplyhouse.com says we'll have it to your house tomorrow. I'm like, sorry.
Thanks, Chris.
What?
You know what?
The microphone?
Mhm.
What did I do?
All our microphones are connected.
Oh, that's you. Yeah, you two. No, I just connected mine to Adam's.
I know. That's what I said.
nice.
See?
It's all unison. Awesome.
All right.
Mine's limp. You guys are skyrocketing. You guys are pretty happy. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to call a doctor in another 3 hours.
I took one of those blue pills in the bottle today, so it's cool.
The Thunder Rhino 2000s.
Thunder Rhino 2000.
Whatever they're called.
My back was hurting this morning when I woke up, and I figured that blue pill would solve the problem, so I took the blue pill.
I got to confess something.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't going to bring it up because this is like a family show. Not really, but last week before the show, I had a gummy.
Oh.
I was like out of my mind. I couldn't do it.
So I
You're
had
fine, dude.
And after the show, I'm like, everyone was looking at me.
Well, yeah,
I go,
you got a
your boy-
camera on you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're right.
I had taken half a gummy, Adam, and it didn't affect me at all, dude.
You guys are talking about the fun gummies or like the just regular like
Yeah,
Sour Patch Kids?
the fun gummies, dude. My wife went to one of those pod stores and got that crap because she got arthritis and glaucoma and all that shit or whatever. The doctor told her she can take them. And
Awesome.
but I took a half a gummy because I thought it would like calm me down because I was stressed out, and it didn't do crap for me. So
Really?
nope. And Adam's over there tripping balls.
I was like, woo, we're talking about blower doors, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
all days he had to take it when we're talking about IAQ, blower doors. Like
you were super excited about blower doors. I'm like,
I'm still super excited. I've been talking to Nate Adams all week.
Nice.
I was messaging Bill. How do you say his last name? Spoon.
Spoon.
Yeah.
Spoon.
He was gonna call me. I'm like super pumped on the whole thing. But it was.
Are we gonna have Spoon on next week?
We could. He said he would do it.
Now, are you gonna get one or what?
They're so expensive.
I know.
Yeah.
They are.
I
What
want
do
to.
they cost?
It's like 3,500. Then plus if you get
Can't you just get like a box fan and a parachute. Like
I
make
think
your
it's like
own.
$1,500 for the good manometer.
Nah. I would love to try. Honestly, we'll see.
Yeah, I was talking to Nate Adams about coming over to my place still and
That'd be cool.
doing some. Yeah, I think it would be. I would think it would be enlightening for both of us. For one, I don't know how many 120-year-old houses he gets to play with and test out. So, and two, I would hopefully get a better idea of what kind of system I need to install to accommodate such a drafty old house.
Bill, I have a question. Is the other end of that antelope sticking out the other side of that wall?
No, that's only in cartoons.
It's a deer, dude.
That's an
Yeah,
antelope.
it is a deer. It's not an antelope.
It's Bambi. You killed Bambi.
I was trying to think of a funny name to call it. Like I was like, what the fuck is the weirdest name I
Could've
can call
called
that
it
thing?
a
A gazelle.
cantaloupe.
I could have called it a gazelle or something.
I wonder if any of those deer because you have a lot more deer on the other wall. I'm wondering if they have the same lineage. You think
Oh, like if they're all from the same family?
bloodline. Yeah, it's like Uncle Joe. Those are nice couches, bro.
Dude, imagine if you took like a crap ton of those gummy bears and then woke up on the couch, Adam.
Oh, I know, right? With all those deers looking at you. Like,
yeah, you probably freak out,
hey,
dude.
dudes.
And it's ancestry.com for deer. We could figure out like they're all related.
Oh my god!
Hey, on a conspiracy note, let me tell you this. So my wife was telling me, and that this just makes you think. I just did one of those 23andMe DNA tests for my wife.
Oh, nice.
Because I've done one for a while, and she's been
curious. So you guys are related?
Now you register with the government.
I was kind of hoping that they would be related. I swear, I told my wife, I was like, "Are we related? That'd be so awesome if we were related. That would be so awesome."
That would be awesome.
But no, we aren't. But she got a notification from 23andMe that says anybody who has COVID, they'll send you a free test because they want to know. And so then I started thinking about it. I go, you know why? Because they're selling the DNA information to the drug companies. Right? Because that's the only reason why 23andMe would send you a free COVID test or a free DNA test if you had COVID, because they want to sell your information so that way they can. So I just thought that was interesting that that everybody sells all your personal information. So
I heard they're like bookmarking or whatever, everything like I don't know if it's true, but if you look it up online, there's all kinds of posts about they like share it with the government. There's like
I could care less. They could share my information with the government. I don't care.
For sure they do.
The
ammo's in the background. Did you see that picture of that gate valve on that liquid line? What was it? Liquid line? I couldn't remember.
A mini split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that mini split. That's crazy, man.
I can't see. If you guys are trying to talk to me or anything, I can't see because I'm afraid to touch the damn screen. So I can't see the chat or anything. So, or the background or anything like that. So,
Black Friday, we have Boxing Day, like Bill said, but we have Black Friday here too now. We just adopted it just for another day of sales.
Black Friday, the stupidest thing ever. Seriously.
You get good deals like the Cyber Monday. My mom just bought a 50-inch Samsung TV because her TV went out. She bought a 50-inch Samsung TV 4K for like $300.
I tried to look this morning. Like I got up and I was like, oh, I'm kind of curious, and I went and looked at like Home Depot and Lowe's, and I'm like, it's just a bunch of junk. Like there's nothing that I need.
I don't feel like a majority of this stuff. A majority of this stuff, I feel it's just like one-off brands. Like instead of Samsung, it's like Samsung and
Samsung.
Yeah, they're trying to pass it off.
I find
they did sell some good pack out kits and Milwaukee fuel kits.
Did they?
Years, yeah.
I feel like everything that's on sale on Black Friday ends up going on sale again before Christmas. So I usually don't find the rush. So
I also think like a week or two before Black Friday, they jack up the prices
to make it look like it's a big discount.
Yeah.
That sounds
like this was this much last week.
Quickly before we go, guys, what do you guys have? Any gift ideas for your pops, your mother, your wife, whatever? Can I say my great thing I'm gonna do?
Yeah,
I think it's great. I think it's awesome because usually you don't know what to say because you don't want anything. But I think I'm gonna get my pops. I never thought I'd be
shirt.
No, I never thought I'd be saying this because we're just gas guys. But
I'll give him one of those Does he want one of those American flag shirts? Because I'll give you a good price on it, dude.
No. I'm gonna get him the Milwaukee kit for like lawn stuff. Like I'm gonna convert him to battery
with those big ass batteries, like the really heavy duty ones that'll run like the blowers and stuff. Yeah.
You have to. I'll get him a few of those. Just
interesting.
Converting. I don't want no headaches. He always comes to me anyways to fix them. So fuck that. Yeah. Get battery. We have all Milwaukee stuff. He could change the end to it, like the trimmer. You could change the end to like a little chainsaw thing. They're awesome. So I think I'm gonna do that.
How old is your dad?
Early 60s.
Okay.
So it's good to know, like the Canadian mafia, they do their own yard work, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, see, like in all the mafia movies, aren't like the big bosses like doing yard work when their Guidos come and like interrupt him and they're like, hey boss, we got a problem. And he's like trimming the most beautiful rose bush you've ever seen.
Yeah. He's got the gold plated shears. So
and they're like, Tony Two Stones has backstabbed us.
22 two stones.
And they're like, well, we gotta.
I think that's kind of the same way in like every mentor movie. Even think of like the Karate Kid with Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi was like trimming the little tree, like showing him and then he was like cleaning the apartment complex, and
with a little tiny broom.
Mr. Miyagi guy who taught him.
Yeah, he was like the apartment maintenance guy or something or maintenance guy.
You're talking about the reboot with
the
Jackie
original,
Chan?
the original, not no reboot crap, the original.
Well, you gotta get ready, Chris, because since you can't see the chat, we have to do like you do and say, well, okay, now we're gonna outro, push this button to transition.
We don't have any-
I'll
real
transition
quick.
everything. Hold on, let
Real
me
quick.
transition. And guess what? The screen's gonna go black. That's all I can do.
Real quick before we end the show. So
Yeah.
now that Thanksgiving is over with and we're moving into the Christmas season, are we going to do any sort of present giveaway, present exchange?
Oh, do you guys want to send presents to each other?
We should send presents to random people in our chats, random fans, but not just like HVAC tools and whatnot, like things that everybody would expect, like our own personal stuff, weird stuff.
A used teddy bear with his eyes sticking out, with his neck barely on. Here you go. I think those are meaningful,
Yeah.
honestly.
Meaningful and weird.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
send this scroll plate to someone. I happen to have
Yeah.
a random
Okay.
scroll
Perfect.
plate sending around right
Perfect.
here. So
That is perfect.
I'll
You know,
send
let's
the scroll
do
plate.
that.
Should we do like a white elephant gift amongst each other?
we should.
We should draw straws or whatever to see who
That's
gets.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yippee! Zach says.
And then we open up, we send it to each other, and then open up on the air.
That's a good idea.
Sure,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
I tried very sly. I was very sly to try to get Joe's address. I said, "Hey Joe, I need your address." And you're like, "For what?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna send you a Christmas present." He's like, "Yeah, send it to my brother."
Yeah,
We better do this like next week to get a present to Joe before
That's
Christmas.
right.
I know, right?
that's right. I'm gonna have to.
Anyway,
All
let's
right.
get out of here, guys. It's been a good show.
Been a good show. I have some outro music, so I'll go ahead and cue up the outro music, and we can go ahead. There you go.
Thanks, guys. That's awesome too. And so
Is this the one where you're like, you have one choice, one opportunity, do the best
Yeah.
or something?
Oh yeah, I deleted that one.
a nice one.
All right, we're gonna end this for real. It's been a great show, guys. We will thank you everybody for showing up. We have 164 people watching this thing right now, guys. Smash the thumbs up button, please.
Please.
Come on, get that
You know
number
what?
up
Wait, hold
on your way
Do we
out.
have enough time for me to do something?
Yeah, we got enough
Go
time.
over. Yeah,
Real quick. Where are we at? How many likes do we have?
We
we're
got
at 74 right now.
74 with 164 viewers right now.
All right, let's get to 110 and we'll give away 2 mugs.
All right.
Ooh, the
right.
Yeti mugs
Yeah, let's give away 2 mugs.
Yeah, and I don't
with
even have one of
overtime
those.
on it. Yeah, that's. I wish I had one.
Yeah, I kind of do too. You know. So
There goes the giveaway. Okay, see you
yeah,
later,
the giveaway
guys.
just froze. There we go. All right, so smash
Half
the.
a
Oh, there we
bottle
go.
of
We're at 88
favorite
likes.
pop.
Smash it, guys. Come on, get it up above 100. 100. What did you say? 113 Adam or something?
Whatever.
110.
Right now.
Get it up there. We're at 95. Come on, guys. Smash the thumbs up button. Get it up there. Like you took a blue pill. Get it up quick. Come on. Boom, boom, boom.
Nice one.
Get it up.
How,
All right.
How are you gonna pick them? We can't do the random. We can't do any more
We're
finger
so
picking like
horrible
Chris
at
does.
this.
Chris trademarked that. What would you say, Bill?
We're so horrible at giving away stuff because we never know how we're going to do it.
On Chris's show, he's like, I'm going to close my eyes and point.
Yeah, you just
That's pretty much what I do.
and the screen probably moves like every friggin'
Yeah, and then what?
millisecond.
But then when you stop it, like when you hit the up scroll thingy on your mouse, whatever, it stops, and I just pick a name. Boom, there we go. That person won. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, you guys need to. We need to come up with a person right now because we already did it. We're at 114 likes right now. So
No, I did it. Do it. Give him away.
Damn, that was fast.
who's
man.
gonna pick them? Am I picking them? No, you guys pick them.
I can't pick him.
You know what?
not?
How about this? In private chat, what do we want? You want to really do a number?
I can't
We do
see
in
the private chat. I can't
Who's
see the
close?
private chat. You guys do that in the private chat.
Sure.
I can't see it.
Okay, we'll do it. All
I
right, fine.
can't see either.
All right,
No,
guys.
let's do 1 to 50.
1 to 50. What?
34.
How are you gonna?
This is the craziest giveaway I've ever heard in my entire life.
How?
Hey,
What does 1 to
30,
50 do?
34.
I'm
No,
confused.
number 1 to 50. Like who's the closest? Out of, like the two people the closest. We'll give it away.
25 and 26 are pretty close.
Is this like the Canadian alphabet? I'm fucking confused, dude.
Dude, we didn't even pick the numbers yet. People are spinning us.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
Oh, okay, what episode is this?
We
Let's
just
do
need to
1
pick a
the
name.
episode of this.
65.
65. Okay.
Whoever
the
picked
closest number.
65, you got it.
No. We're gonna pick a
Look,
number.
now everybody in the chat is just
Oh,
listing numbers.
see,
Oh
Joe,
my
I need context,
God.
dude. You need to tell me what the fuck you're talking about. Now I understand. Okay,
What else am I talking about? What was it closer to 65?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. I didn't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Good God, you
People are
fucking
whipping out numbers.
Canadians.
We didn't pick a number yet.
Fuck, Jesus Christ.
Most professional show on YouTube.
I'll pick a number in this. Well, they've already posted numbers, so I don't even know what to say now.
Well, we could just put the number in the chat. We won't look at the chat, and then we'll just see if it skips by.
All right,
What
put a
if
number in
more
there.
than 3 people have pick that number?
Wait, no, stop.
All right.
No, just pick a fucking name. You're gonna scroll back up and look to see who has the goddamn number?
No. Just whoever hits it now, like whoever hits it present time.
So,
This is
wait, you're gonna say a number and then whoever fucking comes up with that number wins?
Yeah.
Dude, just pick a fucking name.
All
right. Anton Pullman, you're a winner. Send an email to HVACOvertime@gmail.com. Anton Pullman, you won one. HVACOvertime@gmail.com.
He said no contest test or something.
What?
He said no contest. He didn't have a number.
I know. I'm not picking numbers. This is just fucking pick a name.
It has to be somebody who hasn't won anything. You know.
Anton Pullman, you're number one. Someone else pick another name.
All right.
I would say that lettering, but I don't even know what lettering that is. So forget that. And it's okay.
Adam's gonna pick it right now.
Okay.
Thunderstruck 7822.
All right, Thunderstruck 7822. Send an email to HVACOvertime@gmail.com. There's the winners.
Bam.
And I'd say this is what we're gonna do. We're getting off right now, but I think we should all go shopping at our local Goodwill and
thrift store.
Give away goofy prizes.
I've never been to a Goodwill before. What is that?
You just have your butler go
You're
for
still
you.
looking on numbers.
Jeffrey, go down to the local peasant store and buy me some wares for poor folks.
Nice. Nice. I like that.
Hey, do you think your mom would donate one of those deer head?
No.
He's laughing.
The shipping on a deer head would be.
Dude. All right, guys, don't get too excited.
What the fuck, Joe?
You can end the note on this one. You can end the show on this one.
But why? That makes no sense.
Why? Why not?
What the fuck is wrong with Canadians? You don't wear socks and shoes?
Hey, did somebody send
I
Joe
didn't feel like wearing them, so I just bam, feet commando, bud.
I can't just bare feet, man.
You guys are awesome, man. All right, I'm gonna hit the end button right now.
All right.
Appreciate everybody for coming into the stream. Make sure the winners send the emails to HVACOvertime@gmail.com. Jeez.
Who won again?